Okay, so she came really fast. She showed up on the Lord's Day.
Oh my god. Are they okay?
You got a cigarette and a goddamn lighter?
Hey dumpster divers, and welcome back to an exciting new video where one per household. Fuck off, I got two. One's being sent overseas though to somebody else. So you saw in the thumbnail we got another Bill Greening doll, another sexy grandma doll, and a smoker. So we got the Modern Art Barbie Silkstone Reproduction-ish kind of doll, where she is a Lucille Ball looking bubble cut, quote in quote, because they kind of just did whatever with it, doll. So obviously I had to get her because there's not going to be a lot of Bill Greening dolls left coming up. She's the Silkstone material, obviously. But she did get a price increase from some of the other sexy grandma Silkstones. She's about $5 more. So we'll unbox her, see if she's worth it. She is showcasing one of Barbie's many careers, which is being an artist. And obviously a redhead wearing green, it just works really well. I also believe that Bill Greening said that one of the reasons they picked this fashion as a reproduction is because the material is so sensitive, it's hard to find one from the original time that isn't damaged in some way. So a reproduction made sense. And I like when they do reproduction dolls because then it takes the originals and kind of lowers their pricing as well. Because you get something that's not original maybe, but it's like in good condition and basically does the same thing. But let's go ahead and get her unboxed and out of the shipper. And here she is outside of the packaging, and you can see the packaging is kind of that aesthetic they've been using for a while, where there's like a border color and then they gray out to the actual picture of the doll, keeping it really clean and simple. And this was designed by Vicky Gavorkian. And then of course here she is with her packaging open. You can get a full view of everything that's included inside. We get a close-up look at her face. She has the little pearl earrings, a hairnet, the little pamphlet for her art gallery, and then you can get a decent peek at the dress, down to her green shoes, and then her art in a frame. And like most Silkstone dolls, she is held in with the ribbons. She does come with all of her standard things, like a stand, and it's hard to tell, but it does say Barbie on there. Her certificate of authenticity, which is actually raised up paper with a texture. It's really nice. She is a gold label doll. And like with most Silkstone Barbies, she does come with care instructions. And here she is fully unboxed. So the hair is a little wonky outside of the box. It definitely needs some attention. There's a lot of like loose hairs down here. So yeah, something to think about. Also, it's a little hard to pick up on camera, but you can see she has like some kind of dirt marks on her cheeks from the packaging. So that's just something to consider too. Like I said, it's kind of hard to see, but it's just those little black marks. And then going down the outfit, you can see her nails are painted. It is just multiple layers of fabric with the organza. She does come with a wrist tag, and then her shoes are just regular old high heels that are held together with some elastic bands right now. And then here's the back of the doll. You can see the back of the hair a little bit more. It is held together with metal snaps in the back, and then you can see the giant bow made out of fabric. She does have plastic on underneath her skirt to reduce dye transfer onto her skin. But let's go ahead and take off the outfit and get a closer look. And then I did want to show you guys in the back that the bow is actually held together with some basting stitches. I'm going to take them out for you guys so we can actually get her fully undressed. But if you don't get rid of them, you can't take the dress off. So here she is with her outfit off. You can see she's the normal classic Barbie articulation where she can swivel in the shoulder. She can kick her legs forward and backwards and sit. And then her head can turn from side to side. And then there's the back of the plastic outfit if you wanted to see it also. This is the dress off, and the bow in the back that was basted is attached at the front so you can't lose it. Inside of the dress you can see it's just that pattern as a backing, and then inside of the skirt is a Mattel reproduction tag so that you can tell it's a reproduction. There is a better look at the stitching in the back and the 3 metal snaps holding it all together, and then some of the stitching inside of the bodice with the different panels stitched together. It looks like they used like a serger on parts of it. And yeah, ultimately it's just a really simple, easy, beautiful gown. Dress. Then here's a better look at her painting. It is a plastic molded on frame with painted details and a piece of cardstock with the print of her art in the background. You can see it's a sailing theme Barbie signature in the bottom right corner. And then here's the back of the mechanic, just showing the art kind of gently placed in the back, so you could swap it out for multiple arts. And then here's a closer look at the pamphlet, which is literally just like a little poster. It doesn't open up, or it's not a bifold or anything. And there's my attempt at putting that bow back together in the back. Tying it's a little hard because of the fabric. It's very loose and it'll slip off of itself, so there's not a lot holding it together, so the basting stitch makes sense. But I like to redress my dolls. I also have this Barbie fashion model collection petticoat that it might be a little too long, but I want to see what it looks like underneath the green dress. And yeah, it's a little long in the bottom. Okay, so one thing I will say that I'm really impressed with the doll itself is, besides like the silkstone material, you know, gives it some weight, although she feels kind of light for a silkstone doll. I don't know. Also, I hate that World War II articulation. So the thing that I'm kind of impressed with is the stand itself. Usually these cheapy, it's hollowed out at the bottom. Usually these cheapy silkstone stands don't really hold the silkstone doll that well, and they have like a tendency to fall forward, and then they could obviously break. When she has the dress on, she's in there really snug. Like, it's a really good fit. That's nice. She'll feel a little bit more secure in her own stand, and I don't have to put her in like a Kaiser or anything. Obviously, I keep the ribbons from the packaging. You never know when you need them. So one of my absolute favorite things about this whole entire launch, besides the fact that the red hair and the silkstone material and the fashion reproduction and everything, is this background set. I think these images are so beautiful. It's so mid-century, it's so Mad Men. Some of the sets lately on some of their dolls, like that 1920s Art Deco-y flapper kind of girl that's coming up. This one, if there's some other ones, I'll like throw them in.
Nope.
So I have just been continually impressed with their background sets. Using Procreate, the digital art tool that I use to like make my drawings, quote unquote, decided to draw her as I truly see her, a 1950s mid-century artist creating beautiful art and smoking next to her picture. I don't know why I gave her this backstory, but she looks like a smoker. She looks like she's been smoking for a while, so she has a raspy voice. And I feel like that just really fits her character well. So I just wanted to give her a backstory and really get into my collecting a little bit more. And just have a little bit of fun with her, which is why I made her own little tiny box of cigarettes to match the picture. So it's her scale. And then I also rolled some paper cigarettes for her. I know that's a little hard to see, but yeah, now she can smoke a pack a day and create more art. It's just a paper craft I found online. I'll have the video linked below if you want to make your own doll cigarettes. And also, because I've been feeling so crafty lately, I thought it'd be really fun to do this. So I've been messing around with some stuff. I have a desk coming soon, so I can actually not have to work on the floor. I've been staining some wood and everything so that I can kind of create like that background and have my own little mid-century thing to take pictures in front of. It's getting really expensive because I don't have everything, so I have to keep going back to the store and ordering stuff because they didn't have enough of these sticks. And yeah, I'm no Froggy stuff, but you could probably call me like my fat stuff or something. But yeah, I'm still in the middle of trying to figure all this out. I've kind of been documenting the process. I'll show you the final thing once I get it all figured out, but it couldn't get done in time for this video for obvious reasons because of all the ordering. And one of the stars of the show, of this little like vignette scene thing I'm making with the stairs and the wood paneling and the mid-centuryness and everything, is this Mies van der Rohe Barcelona chair that I bought off the internet randomly. So Mies van der Rohe is one of my favorite architects ever. Barcelona is one of the most beautiful places on earth, and I just bought this online. It was way cheaper than it should have been. I thought it was going to be like a 3D printed hunk of plastic, but it's actual metal with pleather vinyl strapping and these nice little pieces for the cushions. But yeah, I think that'll be a nice little centerpiece. And yeah, guys, that's just kind of it. Is she worth $80? I'm gonna go ahead and say no, hell no. Like I said, she herself doesn't even feel like the other Silkstones. Like, she's heavy, but she doesn't feel like solid all the way through Silkstone heavy. I don't know why. In fact, let's just compare her to the other sexy grandma Silkstone that I got a couple years ago. And You're just gonna have to take my word for it. There is a noticeable difference where this one feels more solid and this one feels more hollow, which I could be completely wrong about. I don't even know how the Silkstone material works, like if it even could be hollowed out. So in order to prove my theory, I took them to work, and as you can see, the first sexy grandma is 7.8 ounces. Then the redheaded sexy grandma is 7.2 ounces, so she is lighter. Okay, and honestly, I can't say that 0.6 ounces is like a significant difference. I did leave their shoes on, I did take their clothes off so that it was more equal. And I don't know, it's just a digital scale that we have at work. It could be calibrated, it could not. But according to a digital scale, yes, she is technically lighter. All right, guys, I will see you in my next video where I don't film in the middle of rush hour traffic right outside my apartment with my window partially open because my air conditioner's in it. Bye. And there's a better look at the little Marlboro box and the cigarettes compared to like my little tiny scissors and the frames. You can get a better frame of a reference. And here's our sexy grandma joining her friends, the other Silkstone Reproduction dolls. The gang's all here. That makes 427.